Hey guys, this is Chris over at Williams & Co Trading, just coming to you this Sunday the 5th of August 2018. This video is the first of what we hope to be a long and very productive series of educational videos. We'll be coming to you as often as possible. I'd like to do this every day if we can. And just to give you guys, well, today in particular, just a little preview of the week ahead, what opportunities I'm looking at in the market. But also what we'd like to do is give you guys some great information on trading strategies and go over the basics really of technical patterns, the kind of things we're looking for in the markets before we select any trading opportunities. Let me just I'll just get up the charts now and we'll just get straight into it. So the first thing I'm looking at, euro dollar. As you can see from the chart, if you just ignore the lettering, the labels there, they are Elliott wave counts. That's just the type of analysis that I use. We will, in a couple of other videos, go over Elliott wave analysis. I can explain in a lot more detail how it works and why it works for me. But for now, if you just ignore those labels, what we want to look at really is the triangle pattern. We've kind of been in this pattern since probably late May. Kind of been tracking sideways for quite some time now. What I quickly want to do, I just want to zoom out. We can see actually that earlier on in the year, so around April time, we broke down. We had quite a powerful move from up here, which went on for almost 2 months before we saw this sideways consolidation pattern. So obviously my bias is that we are going to continue the trend lower. To see such a powerful move down, followed by sideways price action, all that says to me is that the market's kind of at a standstill while bears and bulls kind of fight it out. But it didn't reverse course and go straight back up. So for me, the sideways action, especially a triangle, just tells me that it's gonna go lower. So that's why I have the bias I have. So I'm just going to zoom back in. So we've actually, late on last week, broke down below triangle support, which you can see we tagged 3 times. On the 4th try, we broke below. So what I'm looking for this week, I don't fully believe that this move is completely finished. We might get a little more of a bit more of a squeeze lower before we turn higher and correct. I think that what was previously triangle support would act perfect as resistance. We maybe might spike through it a little bit, catch a couple of people off guard, get some people long again before stripping their stops and turning lower. But this is what I'll be looking at, providing that the price action we get towards the triangle resistance now, as long as that's nice and slow and it's quite choppy and it isn't too strong to the upside and stays quite corrective in nature, then I'd be willing to look for short positions between 1620 maybe up to 1660. You can see I've highlighted a black line up here, which was previous area of interest for sellers. That's where I believe we've turned lower from. So if price action gets up there again, that's where I will be wrong on this analysis. That's where this outlook would be incorrect and invalid, essentially, and we'd have to take a step back and relook at the market. But for now, providing this stays intact, this downtrend should continue. I just want to show you where targets would be. We could end up sub 113 if it plays out. But obviously I'll keep you guys updated day by day on that. I'm just going to flick over to the next thing I'm looking at, which is the dollar Canadian. Same again, we've had a strong dollar trend. So this has moved to the upside, and we're now obviously within sort of, well, what I'm looking at is a corrective channel. So I've measured from the across these 2 highs. I've just copied and pasted that trend line down here, which points to potential support, between 129 and 129.50. We've got another trend line coming in here. That's a longer term one, which we broke higher out of, and we now look to maybe retest that. That's just below 129. Depending on how fast this comes down. But between 129 and 129.50, I'm hoping that we get some buyers coming into the market. We've got this channel resistance as well as another trend line here, which this pattern is called an ending diagonal. Potentially could be quite good if we break that to the upside. It really should see some move. But for now, because this is on the 4 hour, what I'm going to do is obviously wait for a reaction first, confirm it on maybe on the lower time frames. I'll keep my eye on the 1 hour and the 30-minute time frames. Make sure that the bullish momentum is there. Talking of momentum, actually, if we just take a look at this little indicator I've got at the bottom, this pink line here, this indicator is called an RSI, and it measures momentum. It will measure basically the strength of the move we're currently in. So as you can see, the lows that we're getting here, we get lower lows. So we're still trending lower. Price action is coming lower. However, if we look at the RSI, it's actually trending higher. What that means to me is it's called RSI divergence. What it means to me is that the trend lower, or at least this correction lower, is running out of steam. We're losing momentum on the downward move. So there's sellers are starting to close out positions, and buyers are starting to come into the market. So I've got my eye on dollar CAD for this week ahead as well. Another one that ties in with that a little bit is crude oil. Crude oil, we zoom right out to daily. We can of course see crude's been in this very, very strong uptrend for quite some time now. I had drawn this channel, which we did tag a couple of times as support before bouncing when we hit resistance. Had a little bit of a false breakdown here. But what I'm currently looking for, as it seems we have broken below this trend line again, just ignore these labels again, guys. I'll just shoot back down to the 4 hour. And you can see here, since we completed this red wave 5, we've turned lower quite impulsively. It's been quite a strong move, followed by this kind of sideways. It's kind of, it's very overlapping and choppy. Doesn't really have much direction to it. That to me, is very, very corrective in nature, and we've turned down. So I've waited for a pullback, and on Friday, I'm short from Friday 69.30 area. If Monday morning we start to bounce higher than 69.30, I'll be looking for the exit. I'm currently short crude, looking for much lower levels, way down towards 62. So that is those are the three charts. It's worth noting that crude oil does correlate with the Canadian dollar. So what that means is, because the Canadian dollar, the Canadian economy relies so much on oil prices because they're quite a large oil exporter. If crude prices come down, correlations say that the Canadian dollar should also be weak. So if we just take us back to the dollar CAD chart, if we have a weak Canadian dollar, this means that dollar CAD will trade higher. So those two, providing correlations stay intact, those two should move together. If we see lower crude, and if the euro takes a hit, we get some dollar strength, dollar CAD really could rip. So it's just a case of keeping my beady eye on that one. Other information to give you guys really about who we are. So like I say, we'll be running free videos, for as long as we possibly can, and give you guys lots of good information. We do run, at the moment, premium services for other traders. If I just take you to our homepage, if you just tap the members area, it should take you to a login page. You can register there. If you just throw your details in and hit register, you'll have access to our members area. Okay, so at the moment this is free. We're going to do the free webinars. These are some of the premium services we have, but for August these are completely free. It's summer, the markets are slow. It's quite a good time for us to just sit back and have a good look at the market and share what we're seeing really before September kicks in and the markets are back off to a start again. So If you log in, you'll get to the members area where you can see, just a brief rundown of recently closed trades we've had. There's also, quite a comprehensive stats area, which has got every trade alert we've posted since we launched the service in March. So as you can see, quite a good hit rate. Our risk reward, has remained fairly strong for the last few months. You can see a month-by-month breakdown just down here. We're averaging between probably 5 and 7% on these trade alerts each month. Besides, obviously, as you can see, May, which was a bit of a runaway month. I think we had a scalp on the Euro Aussie, which turned out to be a much longer-term position than we expected. So we really did well on that. But you guys will have access to the trade room and the chat room. The technical analysis is a service we have for some experienced traders come in who kind of had a good background on the market and they just want a second opinion on what they're looking at. Those are the kind of guys that go for the technical analysis. We were entertaining the option of an online course, but we've decided to run with these free videos now. So whether we run an online course is debatable. We wouldn't like to charge people for something we're also offering for free, so we'll probably get rid of that from the members area. Other than that, of course, let's have a look at the trade room. So if you click on there, you will see any live trades we've got. At the moment, there isn't actually anything active. But as you can actually see, last week, this is the euro dollar. We did try and short last week. Didn't really play ball for us. And we actually tried twice. So we've got triangle resistance there. Tried to short again, so it'll obviously show you a little chart. We'll have a little write-up. It tells you what the order price is, as well as at what point the trade is invalid. At what point that analysis is wrong, and of course the areas that we're targeting. So third time's a charm on this euro. Now that we actually have broke down, we'll keep you updated on that. But just log into the website, have a little look around. Everything is actually here since we launched the trade alert service. So if you scroll down, you'll see every trade that we've posted since day one. We try and keep everything as transparent as possible. We want you guys to see exactly, how well or how badly, if it's, how we are doing. We've got to show you everything. So, have a little look through, see what you think, and I'll be back with you guys with another video, in the coming days, give you an update on those trades. Guys, just another thing worth noting. If you're very new to trading, you may not understand some of the things we've been over today. Some of the phrases we'll use in the videos, like support, resistance, Fibonacci retracements, and all these sorts of things. If you're thinking, what on earth is this guy on about, it's definitely worth visiting a website called babypips.com. A lot of traders do really rate this website. It's got a great education section. If you just go on there, how to trade forex, and you run through, their course there, you really get to the nitty gritty. In the third bit, there's your support and resistance we're talking about. There's Fibonacci, candlesticks, moving averages. There's lots of really useful stuff on here, so that when you guys tune into these videos next time, you'll have a good idea of what I'm actually talking about when I'm using these terms and all this jargon. So yeah, I think the first 6 or 7 are really useful, as well as number 10, which of course, if you're going to take any trade, you want to have read this chapter, because it talks about what size your positions should be, where your stop losses are going to go. It's all about risk management, which is the number one thing really. Once you've selected a trade, you need to know then how to manage the trade. You can't just buy, set a stop loss and have done with it. You need to know what size your position is, whether you're going to scale in and out, all these sorts of things come into it, which we will go over in other videos. So take a look at that, register on our site, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. Obviously, if you know anyone that's interested as well in learning, just send them an invite to the chat room. I'll post out a link. You can all just invite whoever you want to. As I say, this will continue to be free. We're not trying to sell you some sort of webinar education service. We're just gonna teach you guys the basics of what you need to know and keep you up to date with what I'm following, basically. Yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.